started a foundation, a nonprofit called Black and Corporate, and it was specifically because of being the only Black person in so many corporate spaces. And you go into these rooms, I even say, like, I compare it to, you spend more time with your coworkers than you do your family members, your friends, your loved ones. And so when you have to be around people that do not look like you, they don't share your same culture, you don't really realize how mentally it affects you. You're not only required to go into these environments and not see anyone that looks like you, you're also required to perform as well. I think like every Black woman has heard, and even like Black male, when you're coming from a household, that we have to be 10 times or 15 times as better just to get our foot in the door. And it really shouldn't be that way.
Yes, I think any person in the fashion industry that's Black has been through some trials. As for me, being a model, I think for me was just like trying to get signed or just getting gigs, going to casting calls and stuff like that is very nerve-wracking, because you know that when you're going to this casting for this editorial campaign, whatever the case may be, they're not going to pick a lot of black models, especially Black women. So if you're in a room full of 50 Caucasian models, more than likely only one or two of you is going to get picked as a Black model. So that's very discouraging to go somewhere hoping that you get picked and you're in competition with another Black model.
I think we're doing a good job. Just like big brands such as like Hanifa, Telfar, everybody, Telfar's collaboration with UGG and Hanifa Fisher Band from Washington, D.C., or just other smaller brands, TDon, everybody's being creative. Everybody wants to steal from Black people, which, it could be a pro and a con, but it looks good on us because I feel like as a community, we all are very creative and we're all starting to get that limelight and that shine that we deserve to keep creating. Granted, people steal from us every day, but our art is always very important. Like whether it's painting, models, fashion, I think we're going to keep evolving as a community, but we just have to like stick beside each other.
I feel like finally in fashion today, or just in the world, like we are getting more recognition than ever, right? This is stuff that we have been needed, but we're finally getting paid attention to. We're finally, being able to be in the same spaces and take up more space and be celebrated and have more people want to shop our brands and support us. And so I'm just happy that, it's finally happening. This is just the beginning. There's so much more work to do, but I think that we are headed in the right direction for sure.
I think we have really improved. We have improved a lot with Black representation in the fashion world. More agencies are signing Black women of all shades. They are more giving praise to having wear our natural hair and stuff like that. Now you're seeing afros on the runway. You're seeing more Black models on the runway, just instead of just a token Black girl on the runway. In campaigns, I'm seeing people that look like myself, just in general, not even just girls that are small like me. We have curve models now. You have people that look like you, have people that have tattoos. I think we've improved so much in the fashion world. Every time I see a campaign now, I see someone that looks like me, and it's very refreshing. I love going to Sephora and I love looking at campaigns in New York and seeing other Black people, my friends, that are in campaigns. So we're doing great. I think there's more that, of course, there's always more to work on and stuff like that. But for the most part, I think it's way better than it was years ago.
We recently did a collaboration with Caring Group and Caring houses like your Gucci, your Bottega. And essentially we did a mentoring program where we paired Black individuals with people with inside of Caring. So I feel like you almost have to take out that middleman and combine and actually connect Black individuals, because a lot of times we don't have the resources to be connected to people to get the jobs. So it's almost saying like, okay, how can you work with the companies themselves to actually place Black individuals within, these corporate spaces? But then also you have to go to like the decision-making process too. So like while you can introduce Black people into the space, you need them at the C-suite level too, because that's where the decision-making actually really happens. And that's when actual change can happen. So it's more so taking those C-suite boards too as well, and making sure you have full Black representation on that board so the actual decisions can actually trickle down within the company.
I just feel like self-respect is a really big thing of people of color, Black people especially. We don't get very much respect out here in the industry. So I feel like my advice is to always stand your ground, always speak with intelligence, always keep your head held high, always know what you're talking about, but don't settle just because it's money or just because you think it's going to look good on your resume. Like, your self-respect is very important.
As a whole, I mean, we got to move the way when the world moves, right? So right now, everybody's blocked in on the metaverse. So definitely believe there will be fashion happening in the metaverse, whether we're dressing up our avatars. You know, Hanifa had already put 3D fashion on the map with her fashion show that she did, I believe, 2 years ago, and had everybody turning their heads. And I definitely believe more of that is definitely going to be taking place. I got some plans for V Mode in the metaverse. I just feel like everyone should definitely start paying attention to and trying to adapt to where the world is heading, and that is digitally, because you don't want to get left behind. Literally, in a matter of 3 to 5 years, majority of fashion or majority of the world, period, will be operating in the metaverse. And I think that every day we should take time to really educate ourselves on it and be able to, you know, tap in where we can so we're not left behind, and, you know, we're going to be right on par with the rest of the world.
The fashion forecast is always evolving. Things are always making a comeback, whether it's like the 80s or the 90s. We're always like going in a full circle moment. But I think with the new generation, we have all these different platforms to help expand our creativity and our fashion, whether it's street style, editorial, high end, or just like theater, you know, costume design. I think we have different avenues that are going to keep evolving and keep getting better as a whole within the fashion community.
The beauty of social media now, I feel like that's the direction it's going in, where like you can create your own lane, you can create your own space and not have to wait on a company to do so. And now companies are almost trying to scramble, and, you know, that's where you see people that use influencers or use different, you know, celebrities, but like your new celebrity now is people that actually would have never had a chance within from a whether it's like a corporate space, a fashion space, like a fashion house might have never brought them in, but now because of social media, they're able to now create their own platforms. I feel like that's the direction we're going in, of you don't have to wait anymore for people to accept you. You can find your community, find it on social media, become that person who you want to be regardless, and then companies will follow after that.